gosh, folks, we're back at it. We're at the end of side 1 of Dare to Be Stupid, and in case you don't know what you're doing or where you are, this is the Beard Al podcast, the podcast where we talk about 2 of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And I lied to you just now because that was not a beer can, that was a Pamplemousse LaCroix because I have blood work in the morning.
Well, welcome to the Pamplemousse LaCroix Al podcast. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as easy, does it?
No, it really doesn't. I'm not going to change the entire name of the show just because I'm having a Pamplemousse LaCroix right now.
Pamplemousse LaCroix, I feel like I opened for them once.
And for those of you who may not be in the know or did not read the blurb that goes with this episode, that other voice that you're hearing on the other side of this is Insane Ian, who's been here before. Hello, how are you?
I have been here before and I am here again. Yes, hello. I love your assumption that people are just randomly clicking on blind links on the internet, not knowing what they lead to. What audio file is this? I'm just going to start listening to this randomly. Like, people aren't like seeking this thing out to purposely listen to it. Just everybody's finding your show by accident. It's an amazing marketing scheme, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Thank you. Yes, man, if I only had a newsletter. Note to self, make a newsletter. No, well, yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. As a college instructor, I can't assume that anybody has done their homework on anything or that they know what I'm about to be talking about.
That is 100% accurate. All right, I buy into that. That's a good explanation then.
So yeah, if there's any reason for it, it's the years of teaching college freshmen who are like, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to read that in advance of today. I'm like, well, yeah. So those of you who are listening to the show, if you've listened to the past 5 episodes, you've listened to us cover individually the songs on side 1 of 1985's Weird Al Yankovic album, Dare to Be Stupid, starting with Like a Surgeon. And on that episode, I had my husband, Russ, and his son, my stepson, Zach, which was delightful. And yeah, it was super fun to have an 18-year-old young man be like, okay, so Like a Surgeon, here we go. So definitely go back and listen to that. And then I had wonderful human being, friend of the show and friend of mine, Noah, on to talk about Dare to Be Stupid, which was, again, delightful. And I had my friend and fellow podcaster, Garrett, from the No Dak Nerd podcast on to talk about I Want a New Duck. And then we had more people in the virtual room than ever for one more minute, where I had Casey and Aaron from the Itch Rocks radio show podcast Palooza, and Russ also here. And then Yoda was our friend Stevie, Midnight Smoke from the BFYGW podcast, and Russ talking about Yoda. So it's been a grand thing. And if you're thinking to yourself, if you're sitting there saying, gosh, Lauren, you have a lot of dudes on this show. I do. But when I get to side 2, I have at least one lady lined up, and it's a lady we all know, to talk about Girls Just Want to Have Lunch. Yes, your friend and mine, Lily Hirsch, will be here to talk about Girls Just Want to Have Lunch when we get to that part of the album. So I'm excited about that because I can think of no one more qualified.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Lily would be very qualified, especially on the subject of Al, of course, having written a whole book about him.
Yeah.
But also that song in particular, I'm sure. And then tell Lily I said hi when you see her on the episode.
I most certainly will. I absolutely will. Yeah. Because you have participated in some of her insane writings about music.
I have indeed. Yeah. Her newest tome, which was released, Taking Funny Music Seriously, has several quotes and interviews with me in it. Mostly in the Dr. Demento section of the book, but the fact that it is a textbook about comedy music, and I have kind of dedicated my presence online to being a quote-unquote expert on comedy music. No, expert is in heavy quotes when I say that. I'm a person who does comedy music, so I feel I have a room to speak about it in that capacity, so I do a show about it on YouTube every week. But because of that, and because of my association with the Dr. Demento show, adminning it on Facebook and also running the Logan Awards, I got a chance to be interviewed by her for this amazing book that goes through not just the history of comedy music and the different styles in which this one style encapsulates, but also how it is so much more than just merely a novelty, as it has often been usually derided as.
I mean, I love that. I love that I have a circle of people, you among them and Lily and like all of the people that are on and listen to the show, that understand that comedy music is more than, quote, just a novelty. So
yes, absolutely. And that, of course, tends to stem from Christmas novelty songs and people only thinking about that kind of thing around the holidays. But yes, it's been an art form that's been around for hundreds of years at this point.
Yeah.
And yes, as long as they've been making music, sometimes music has been funny. But anyway, we're getting off topic already as we've started.
This is what happens here. I mean, Weird Al is arguably the most well-known comedy musician of our times. And
there are very few people that will dispute that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I feel like I'm on solid ground saying that, so like if you were to like say to somebody, oh, this is funny music, and they go like, what, like Weird Al, I will tell you, I'm doing my very best. I would say about 50% of my college students are not familiar with Weird Al, and I've noticed the familiarity rate drop like over the years, and I was like, you guys, I do my part every semester though, so people don't get out of my class not knowing who Weird Al is.
Right. So. No, I can't imagine anyone who ever takes a class that you are participating in will leave any particular day of the week ending in Y not knowing who Mr. Al Yankovic is.
Right. And I don't know about
you. I mean, it's your duty as an educator to educate,
right.
Honestly.
I feel like there is no like accredited institution of higher learning that should be handing out degrees to anybody who is not familiar with one Weird Al Yankovic, right?
I firmly stand by that point, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad, I'm really glad we're in agreement, because I also take that kind of as a personal litmus test. Like if somebody, quote, doesn't like Weird Al, and I was like, well, you know what? I probably don't trust you. At least on some level.
No. It's like when dogs don't trust people. Yes. I listen to that dog. Yeah, if people don't trust Weird Al, I don't trust them either.
Yes,
they don't like Al. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, this is we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
Exactly. We have, it's a scientific method. You have your control.
Right. Right, that's it. So, and here's the thing, so now that we've laid the groundwork out for this, and if you've listened to this show, you heard Ian here do this same thing with the Weird Al Yankovic in 3D album a couple of months ago, and so we're doing it again. We're taking a look at the whole first side kind of as an entity in and of itself, right? So, Dare to Be Stupid, recording for it began in January of 1985, and it was released on June 18th. 1985. And so we're taking a look at the songs that are on what I would call a pretty great side one. And I'm not even tipping my hand here, because I've been pretty open about my thoughts about side one throughout the various episodes of this program. So I kind of did the rundown a bit before, but just for those of you who may need a recap again, because your attention,
a refresher from 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't trust anybody's attention span either. I don't.
Yeah, with all their TikToks and YouTube shorts all being all short.
Yeah. So
I sounded like the crazy old man yells at cloud. All right.
We do that here. Yeah. We do that here. That's usually what Russ does. At least once an episode that he's on, he will say, I'm gonna old man yell at cloud here for a second, and I'm like, well, yeah, but you're right.
Yes.
So for those of you who may have too short of an attention span, the shortest song on side one is I Want a New Duck at 3:04, and the longest is One More Minute at 4:04. It is exactly 1 more minute longer
It is ironic and hilarious.
All right, so yeah, Like a Surgeon is the first track on side one of Dare to Be Stupid. It is a parody of Like a Virgin by Madonna. And as we discussed on that episode, it is unique in that it is the song idea that Al did not come up with by himself.
Yeah, it's the first single from the album. It was, the rumor goes that Madonna was walking down the street with a friend, and somebody said to her, "Why hasn't Weird Al done Like a Surgeon?" And she goes, "Yeah, why hasn't he?" And contacted Al, either himself or his label, to kind of suggest that song idea. And Al went, "Well, if they're going to come to me about this, I'll do that." Generally, doesn't take song ideas from fans or anything like that, because Al likes to do them himself, of course. This situation was expertly parodied with Al himself on an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Where it was revealed that Ted was the one who suggested Like a Surgeon in a fan letter. We know the real history. It's just like Weird the Al Yankovic story, where it's just been slightly altered from reality.
Just
for
ever so
comedic
slightly.
effect.
So speaking of that, very quick sidebar. I have, in my little world of people that I deal with on a regular basis, I am the Weird Al person. Okay. And
sure.
I can't even tell you how many times somebody totally well-meaning,
I already know where this is going,
has been like, I didn't know he had a relationship with Madonna.
Do you know how popular of a Google search that became after that movie dropped?
Yeah.
That makes my heart laugh so hard. It's so good. It's so incredible. It's a testament to not only like how brilliant of a biopic it is, but also the ridiculousn's of biopics in general.
Yep.
To have that kind of sway with people.
Yep.
It's just magnificent, and we love it.
We do.
As an album opener, though, I think this is a very strong start. I said this back on the In 3D side one in re-encapsulation, if you want to call it that.
I like that,
because that's totally a word. Starting with the first single, always a strong start. Me personally, when I do albums, I tend to not open with like the first single that I've had, but at least a popular single. But starting with the first single, you want the album to start with the thing that the people bought the album for.
Yeah.
And that is always usually a strong start. I remember most of the songs I like. Kind of jumping ahead a little bit here to I have stated before, and I stated on the In 3D album review stuff, that Dare to Be Stupid is my favorite album. It was the first album that I heard of Al's in totality for the first time. I rented it from the library on record, on vinyl, and then copied it to a cassette and played that endlessly, and then eventually got my own copy on vinyl, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this album was like my really big introduction to Al, other than the Eat It single at first on the Eat It 45. And then, of course, went back and found In 3D, because I didn't really listen to In 3D right when it came out, but I did listen to it roughly. I mean, it was like it was a year after, because In 3D was 84.
This is 85.
So it was a year after that. So I listened to this when this album came out, but I listened to In 3D a year late, and of course did not even discover Al's first self-titled album until way later, which was really bizarre. A lot of things out of order.
Yeah.
But regardless, this album was very formative to my appreciation of comedy music, and to the style of music that I was really getting into. And so, starting with Like a Surgeon, finding this album and finding the video, The Complete Al, at the same time almost. And that thing being such a showcase for a lot of the songs from this album, especially the title track, and being a showcase for some of the other things to come along with this album, because it was basically that's mockumentary was made to promote this album as well as showcase the videos from the previous albums. So to have this video be a showcase for this album, and also finding the album at the same time as the video, and just the VHS, I should say, just kind of ingrained everything in my brain as, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to latch on to for the rest of my life.
Yeah. No, and I feel that makes complete sense. I like, and you bring up the complete out, which we're not going to derail completely. Actually, there's no derailing because this is my show. I can do whatever I want. But the complete Al, right? There are so many people who, before Weird the Al Yankovic story came out, were like, is this going to be a real biopic, or like, what is it? And like, I had to be like, if you're a Weird Al fan enough to like be talking this deeply about stuff, I'm sure you've seen the complete Al. Like, it's going to be the biopic version of that. Like,
yeah, like a lot of people were like, oh, Al already did a biopic. It's called The Complete Al. No, because The Complete Al is a mockumentary. A mockumentary and a biopic are two different things. Yep. My film critic hairs are raising on the back of my neck. But that is a mockumentary. And the Weird the Al Yankovic story is a biopic. Both of them are parodies in nature, hence mock in the title of mockumentary, a mocking of a documentary.
Yeah.
But by its nature, it was supposed to be funny, so it was a mockumentary. Things like Best in Show or This Is Spinal Tap, also both done by Christopher Guest and company. Those are mockumentaries. Those are purposely made to be funny. They're not actually about real people. Even though this is about Al, the person who plays his manager is not Jay Levy. The people who are involved in this. Flight of the Conchords had an audio mockumentary. They had a BBC show, a BBC radio show about Flight of the Conchords, which was later released on CD. And Rhys Darby, who plays their manager Murray on the TV version of Flight of the Conchords, also played him before that as their manager, but he was named Brian instead.
Yeah.
And the show it's all audio, and it was an audio mockumentary following the band from different gigs and doing different things and everything. So a lot of these bands have like taken like their real life experiences and tried to like parse it down into a documentary or a comedy show or a comedy biopic or something like that. And of course, Al has done it first and best.
Yeah, of course. Yes, he absolutely has. And it's we could go on and on and on. And
that's the thing, where it's going to be a flurry of tangents this entire episode. I can already tell.
And that's okay. That's totally okay. Because track 2 is Dare to Be Stupid. Which
we have already dared to be stupid by reviewing Dare to Be Stupid.
Exactly.
And in all of our tangents, they just get stupider and stupider.
So
and that's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
I do want to say briefly about Like a Surgeon.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, go for
it. No, you're fine. You wanted to keep things on track, and here I am derailing them again instantly. I wrote a song called We're All Gonna Die, and it was a collaborative song about tropes in horror movies, and I wrote it with Kiki Cannon, Devo Spice, and Schaefer the Dark Lord, all playing different archetypes of characters that you would find in a horror movie. And I'm playing the nerdy virgin who ends up like almost being the final girl or whatever like that in the song. And I had this lyric where I was like, wait, I'm still alive because I'm still a virgin. The killer chopped them up like he's some kind of surgeon. Holy crap, that's an amazing rhyme. I can't believe I thought of... Wait a minute, no, like a surgeon and like a virgin is a thing. That's what happened. I thought I was clever, but no, I just stole that from Al. Whoopsie doodle.
Whoops.
Oh well. There was a moment of me thinking, damn, I'm a good lyric writer, and no, I'm not.
No, I know. Well... I mean, you still are. He doesn't have a monopoly on that particular rhyme, you know.
True, but
But you know where you got it from.
I thought I pulled that from the ether, but instead it came from the place in the back of my head where all the Weird Al lyrics are.
From the
So,
annals of your mind.
that
Sure.
sounds like some sort of medical condition. Let's move on.
Yeah, right, that's right. So Dare to Be Stupid.
Speaking of surgeons and medical conditions, yes.
Yeah, Dare to Be Stupid. This track, and again, folks, if you are listening to this because you are a fan of Insane Ian's and you only listen to the episodes of this show that he's on, I urge you to go back and listen to my Dare to Be Stupid episode, because my guest Noah is so freaking smart and observant when it comes to Weird Al stuff.
A huge contrast to the current guest, Insane Ian. So,
yeah, right. No. I will say, no, and not that you're not smart. Ian, not you are Ian. Noah, every single episode that I put out, I get like 3 or 4 tweet thread of replies from him with observations and like adding to the conversation. And so that's why I was like, dude, you just gotta be on the show. Like, and he killed it. He absolutely crushed it.
Excellent.
Yeah, and this was a great song to talk about because this, I feel, is one of those Weird Al songs that means a lot to your diehard Weird Al fan. But it also
means an anthem.
It's an anthem, absolutely an anthem. And it also means a lot to the folks that just heard it in the Transformers movie.
Absolutely. I remember seeing Transformers the movie with my childhood best friend in the theaters when it came out, and hearing Weird Al's song pop up in the Junkie-Con scene with Eric Idle spouting commercial catchphrases. And I went, yes, this is the best movie ever now.
Wait, hold on. You know what you went? Hold on. This is what you said.
Yes.
Anyway.
Appropriate soundbite is appropriate.
I don't have many, but I've got that one.
That's incredible. So yeah, no, I definitely like this. For many Weird Al fans, this is their anthem. This is our anthem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do what we do. We are who we are because we dare to be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and Al himself has kind of echoed that sentiment a lot, not just throughout his career musically, but in other forms of media as well. In one of the Transformers reboot TV series, he voiced the Junkie-Con.
Mm-hmm.
The Junkie-On. I can't pronounce it right, but he
did the thing.
Voiced
Yeah,
the same character Eric Idle voiced in the movie. And the Junkbot looked more like Al. It like had his signature mustache and everything. And you know, he had the line, "I dare to be stupid." So there's always references to that and everything. But also, you know, this is one of those songs that Al has done in concert almost every tour since this album came out, I think.
Yeah. This is, and even on the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised Vanity tours, both the first iteration and the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised Vanity tour, he did Dare to Be Stupid, just rearranged.
Yes, in different musical styles. So instead of it being a Devo pastiche, it was a Grateful Dead pastiche in some shows, and
or
then
the lounge act,
or
right?
the lounge act version in some shows, and both of them amazingly done. A credit to, of course, as they're called on this album, the Stupid Band.
They're so stupid.
But you know, every album, the band has a different name, and it's named after the album. So on Even Worse, they were the Even Worse Band. On this album, they're the Stupid Band. So Jim, Steve, Bermuda, and of course the rest of the people who play things other than guitar, bass, and drums. This was before Ruben, of course, joined the band.
Right, because he's the new guy.
Because he's the new guy still 30 years later.
I love that so much.
But like, it's a credit to them to that you know, they were able to nail not just the new styles to put it in the new tour, but also to be able to nail it so well on this album that famously
I love this.
on the Weird Al Behind the Music on VH1, Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo said he captured our sound so well, he did it better than us, and I hated him for it. And me, being a naive high school student when I saw that, I thought Mark Mothersbaugh actually meant that he hated Weird Al, and I was so sad. I didn't know that he meant it sarcastically, because he says it so deadpan that I took it for literal, for realness. And, only years later did I realize, oh, he was just being ironic that he hated him. He didn't actually hate Al. You're being silly, Ian. But no, in that moment, it's saying, knowing that, he's getting a sound and getting a tone that Mark and his other compatriots in Devo were trying to achieve with their stuff, and Al actually accomplishing it in his pastiche, was being so revered in such a way that he quote unquote hated him, is honestly one of the highest compliments you can be paid by an artist who you are attempting to do a pastiche of.
Yeah, exactly. And when Al recorded this, he was 25?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because if this was earlier, 85, then he was 25. Yeah.
Yes.
So, to have somebody who you've been listening to be like, well, crap, you did this so well. It was absolutely a compliment. And that has to be like a feather in the cap in such a delightful way. But I feel you. I got that. When I watched that Behind the Music, I had a glimmer of that same thought at first, but then I remembered that Mark Mothersbaugh also did the music for Rugrats, and I was like, that guy can't hate Weird Al if he did the music for Rugrats.
Yeah, there's a thread of DNA between the music of people who do stuff for cartoons. Mark Mothersbaugh on Rugrats, and Danny Elfman for The Simpsons, and the Simpsons theme. Alf Clausen did the music for the show itself. I think that's his name. And also Alan in general. Just there's such a whimsy to their work that there's a mutual appreciation society, I feel. I don't know if it's actually true, but I feel like there should be with them.
Yeah, I feel like there should be. I mean, we take whimsy very seriously on the show, and I agree. That's actually, Russ literally said that to me the other day. He was like, I really appreciate how seriously you take whimsy. I'm like, you're welcome. You're gosh darn welcome.
Honestly, that's a t-shirt slogan right there. We take whimsy seriously. That's
stop
good.
It. I might have bumper stickers made and put them in the shop for the show.
I absolutely feel you should.
I might do it. Okay. Note to self: start newsletter, make bumper stickers. Okay.
Yes. Luckily, we're recording this, so you can retain these notes you're making to yourself.
Woo. Any last thoughts on the Dare to Be Stupid song?
More to the video itself.
Oh, please, yes. Oh, because that's a whole thing.
Because the video is phenomenal, and not just them doing the Devo outfits, which look like hazmat suits.
Yeah.
But the creation, the quote unquote creation, the way Al describes what he wants for the video in the end of the complete Al, where he's just he's having the biggest brainwave ever of super artistic and creative thoughts. A doctor wrapped in bandages, mint green, and he's slicing into a kiwi, just all of that going on, and mashed potatoes, mini marshmallow, and just everything that he's talking about in it, and seeing everything that he's describing come up in the video after it. It is such I almost feel whenever you see the music video for Dare to Be Stupid, you need to see the meeting he's having with those that room full of people, like in the the pitch meeting, as it were.
Yeah.
You need to see that video pitch meeting from the Complete Al before seeing the music video for Dare to Be Stupid. I think these things should be shown in tandem together, because it is such a glorious revelation, amazing reveal of what his quote unquote vision is for this video, based on the weird things that he suddenly like he's speaking in tongues, coming up with these ideas in the meeting. And it's such a great combination of events that I feel that, they complement each other.
Yeah, it's important. I feel like I absolutely agree. Oh gosh, it was several years ago now. I was sometimes you have a day and you're like, I'm going to watch this comfort thing. But because I had then, and I still have now, this podcast, I put on the Complete Al and I opened a bottle of wine and I began live tweeting my viewing of the Complete Al. And I took pictures. I took video of myself singing along with things. I took video of myself reacting to the very scene that you are referring to right here. And yeah, I think that's the last time I actually watched that movie. I need to watch it again sometime soon. But like,
I have not seen it in many years. I did pick it up when Shout Factory finally re-released it on DVD. But I don't think I've actually watched my DVD copy of it. I own a copy of it on Laserdisc.
Oh, bless you. That's beautiful.
Which is even more incredible. I don't have the player, but my mom still has a Laserdisc player, so my copy of it is at my mom's house. But yeah, so I do still own that on Laserdisc, and I have not seen it in at least at the very least 20 years. And I'm sure if I put it on now, I would still be able to quote it.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things that gets built into your DNA.
And again, like, because it's such a companion piece to this album, I cannot talk about this album without talking about the Complete Al. And I know we haven't gotten to that side yet, but I do want to say briefly, I had no idea This Is the Life was a song from the soundtrack for Johnny Dangerously, because the version of the music video for it that is on the Complete Al does not include the clips from the movie the way the original music video did.
Amazing. Oh, that's a story for side 2. I love that.
That's a story for side 2. But yes, we'll get further into that.
I love that.
But yeah, moving on.
Yes. So to segue, since we were talking about how Dare to Be Stupid needs to be paired with the Complete Al, and the Complete Al is part of your DNA, that gets me thinking about Dino DNA. And what shares some Dino DNA? Birds.
This is the thinnest stretch of a segue ever, and I love every moment of it.
I want a new duck.
An amazing song.
It's so good.
Like, there are some incredible puns throughout this song. I only found out recently that a friend of mine did not realize He Can Teach Me How to Get Down was a joke. Not about dancing.
I have famously admitted several times on the show that I did not get that until embarrassingly recently.
Yeah, you're not the only friend of mine who's said that. And so you needn't be embarrassed. It apparently is a common thing.
I'm not embarrassed. Here's how I take it.
You said embarrassingly, so.
Well, I guess embarrassingly recently, but I'm not actually embarrassed by the fact that it was recently. That's fair. That's fair. See, this is why I couldn't be a politician, because I don't say what I mean, and I don't mean what I say.
Like that's stopping them now.
I know. But what I take from that, is like, yeah, there's part of me that maybe is a little embarrassed that I didn't get the show me how to get down, baby. Yeah, especially because he goes, get it?
Yeah.
But that to me speaks to the fact that I can be a fan of this music for literally decades and still find new things.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And I'm 100% a big fan of that. Like I said back on the In 3D album, I had the benefit of, like, when I was listening to these, my mom would listen to them with me because she has an appreciation for music and for funny music. Like I said, my parents were in a filk group when I was
yes.
growing up. And so she appreciated music and liked listening to music with me when I would listen to it in the car going to school, or if I was listening at home or what have you. And there would be certain things in the songs and I'm like, this seems like this is supposed to be funny, but I don't get it. And mom would be there, thankfully, to explain it to me, like the line in Another One Rides the Bus, which most people who hear this song don't know this reference. Of I haven't been in a crowd like this since I went to see The Who.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is a dark joke. Most people hear that and think, "Oh, it was a crowded concert," not remembering that in 1979 there was such a crowded Who concert that people were trampled to death at.
Yeah.
This is a dark joke. This is a darkly comedic joke based on a real thing, but most people who hear that song do not have that frame of reference.
No.
And so there's going to be a lot of disconnect, especially with older albums, on things like that. But at the same time, growing older and then learning about these things, you find new appreciations for these songs that you've heard billions and billions of times before.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I'm thinking out loud right now. At some point, I would love to do, at the very least, an episode with just like people, even if like people send me in things, I might call it like Weird Al missed connections. Like, you know what I mean? Like jokes that are there that like either you didn't get until recently, or that like somebody that didn't get, or people don't fully appreciate, like all of the things that we just mentioned here, because there's so much. And I'd just love to like help people dig into the brilliance. But note to self, write that episode idea down.
Well, there have been several Gosners that have been misplaced jokes.
Yep.
And I say Gosners, and for the uninitiated who may not know what a Gosner is, it's appropriate that I'm mentioning it on this because the name came from this album, Like a Surgeon. In the song, Al says, "Better give me all your Gosners," which is better give me all your gauze nurse. But everyone has misheard that lyric as Gosners, Gozners.
What the hell is a Gosner?
What is a Gosners? So any misheard Weird Al lyric is known as a Gosner. So in the song "Such a Groovy Guy" on the first album, the lyric is, "And then attach electrodes to your brain and watch you dance." But my Gosner for that lyric, and apparently one that many people have shared.
Oh, I don't have a Gosner for this, so I'm putting it off a little bit because like I'm so excited to hear yours that I also want to build up the anticipation with the people listening.
So for me, and I found out later for many other people, we all heard, "And then a batch of egg rolls to your brain and watch you dance."
Wow.
Which doesn't make lyrical sense at all.
No.
And then when you realize what the lyrics are, oh, of course you would have danced because electrodes are attached to your brain. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But a batch of egg rolls to your brain? What does that even mean? I don't know, but it's a great funny visual, and I'm laughing at it for that reason and not the true reason of what the lyric is.
Sure. I love that. Yeah, okay. So then I have to do an episode like that at some point. While we're still on I Want a New Duck, I need to say again, because I know I said it on this episode, this is such an underrated parody, kind of like outside the like
it really
those
is.
that are deeply ingrained in Weird Al stuff, and even those who are like, this parody is so good, and like it's not super deep, it's not super nuanced, it's just very,
but it doesn't need to be.
Right.
It is literally what some people might think of as the hacky version of a parody initially of just taking one word and changing it to a word that sounds similar. So instead of "I want a new drug," it's "I want a new duck." And that idea in itself can be perceived as being hacky. However, where this song stands above and beyond for that concept is the execution.
Yes. I would go so far as to say, literally, every parody on this album, the title of it just changes one word.
Yeah. The good majority of them are definitely in that realm.
And that this is all this to say. There's nothing.
Even the one word titles.
Yup. It's just like, oh well, this rhymes. Let's go.
Exactly. Or sounds enough, has enough syllables
Close
to
enough.
match.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea, and when I first heard this song, of course, I didn't know it was a parody. So the fact that there are ducks quacking in the background in the background layers of the music is just brilliant to me. We've written a song about a duck, and there's dozens of duck puns per capita in each verse. It is such a well-researched, and it really is a testament to the way Al writes songs. Like, hey, I'm going to immerse myself in everything about ducks, and this is going to be a 3-minute song about ducks and why I want a duck.
And a
I
new
think
duck.
rock and roll, some YouTuber calls himself Rock and Roll Doctor or something like that, interviewed Al recently in a video about this particular song and another song. This was one of the previous thumbnails. The thumbnails changed since then, but
I saw the previous thumbnail. I was like, oh, come on now. We need to.
Yeah, like we didn't know that. Yeah,
I know.
But still, there are people out there who aren't as immersed in the culture here.
Trust, I
know.
I know.
But yeah, no, it's such a testament to the dedication Al puts in to really crafting a song about a concept, and having Dare to Be Stupid be the lead-in to this song is kind of like almost a warning for the album.
Yeah.
Like, Dare to Be Stupid. Here, a lot of the things that I'm doing, this album is called Dare to Be Stupid. The second song is Dare to Be Stupid. So you're going to have some stupid things that you may realize are kind of stupid, but still amazingly brilliant and funny. Stupid can still be funny, coming at you. And what is more stupid of an idea, and I use that in heavy air quotes, than a song about wanting a duck?
Yes. And
so yeah.
I was just gonna say, I while we're talking about things that the average listener may not know, and I did mention this on the episode that we did about I Want a New Duck, but the wiki fandom page for the Huey Lewis song I Want a New Drug does have a little blurb about the Weird Al Yankovic parody.
Good. As it should.
As it should. I'm going to read it to you verbatim, and I would like your initial thoughts. In 1985, Weird Al Yankovic made a parody of the song called I Want a New Duck on his third album, Dare to Be Stupid. The song is about Al wanting a new duck with various features that his previous ducks did not have.
I mean, that's mostly accurate. I would dispute that it is Al saying these things.
Me too.
Because if there's one thing that I appreciate in different artists performing comedy music, most times an artist performing the comedy music or doing the song, the narrator of the song, if you will, is never actually the artist themselves.
Correct.
They're playing a character. This person wants a duck, and it wants it to have these features that the duck they previously had did not have. That does not necessarily mean it's Al. Al is playing this narrator in the song.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Al has never been to Jurassic Park and been torn apart. Al is not Obi-Wan Kenobi recounting the events of Episode 1 in The Saga Begins. He's playing a narrator in these songs. Very rarely in comedy music with some exceptions, do you have the narrator of the song be the same character throughout the artist's entire catalog. Ninja Sex Party, of course, every song is done by Danny Sexbang's perspective. They are about Danny Sexbang and Ninja Brian and their exploits. So every song of theirs is in character.
That's fair.
But that is a rarity in comedy music.
Right. Nobody is asserting that Gayla Peavy really wanted a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Exactly. But I love that that's my sticking point with that Wikipedia entry.
I know, me too. Nothing to the fact that, like, I just got, like, the thing that got me was with traits that are different from his previous ducks. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, like, technically in the lyrics,
true.
that is
I want
true.
A new duck. Okay, that's fine.
I want a new duck. Better than the old duck, that's almost like his Led Zeppelin parody. Want a new duck, same as the old duck. No, that was the Who, not Led Zeppelin. Sorry.
Meet the new duck, same as the old duck.
Yeah, that was the Who, not Led Zeppelin. Sorry.
Well, no, that's fine. You're just stuck on the Who for whatever dark reason that may be.
But can't imagine. But I love that, and I also love if this hasn't been brought up before in the previous episode where you discussed this song, the revisiting of this in pop culture with the 20th anniversary release of Huey Lewis and the News' album Sports, of which this was the lead single. For their 20th anniversary, Huey Lewis and Al did a recreation of the scene from American Psycho between Christian Bale and Jared Leto.
Yep.
I was almost going to call him Colty McCulterson.
No, it's either way.
But so the scene between Christian Bale and Jared Leto's scene, the Hey Paul scene, Paul! where he goes in the discussion about Huey Lewis and the News' album Sports. Funny or Die did a recreation of that, changing a lot of the dialogue to be about Huey and his animosity toward Al because of the parody. Obviously all fabricated, but still, it is an amazing sketch. It is a shot-for-shot remake, which is something that I, of course, appreciate. And it's just, it's very funny.
It's a delight.
And I still get people sending it to me now. And like, have you seen this? I just found this. And I go, of course I've seen it, but yes, thank you for sharing it with me.
It's a fun place to be, right? The one who people send those things to, like, because there's literally an entire episode of this very podcast about that very Funny or Die sketch with friend of the show, Robert Yanis Jr. from the Crooked Table Productions family of podcasts. It's all about movies. So when he wants to talk Weird Al and he wants to talk movies, he comes over here and we do that. He's the one who was on the show with me where we manifested and willed into existence a Weird Al biopic.
Excellent. Well, we have him to thank.
Yes, we do. I mean, and we firmly believe this. We did that. We did an episode where we were talking about. It was the episode actually where we were talking about the Huey Lewis Funny or Die sketch, and we were like, yeah, man, like we were like overdue for a Weird Al movie. It wouldn't it be fun if he did this? And then we kind of like waxed poetic about it, and then like literally like 2 months later, they announced that they were going to be doing this, and we're like, oh my god, we did it. But it had been in the works since before that. But I still like to believe that I willed some of it into the universe somehow.
I mean, like, I believe that I willed Weird Al and Chris Ballou of the Presidents of the United States of America hooking up with each other again to have Al direct a video for them.
Yeah.
So, I sometimes like to think that I'm responsible for that because apparently they lost contact with each other and I passed on an email address. So I'm like, yeah, I'm the loose connection between the two. They never would have been able to connect with each other, living so close to each other again.
Right. I am the conduit. I am the conduit. Yeah.
I'm the reason they have been able to collaborate repeatedly since the parody of Lump. That's like they had the one connection with that, and then like apparently Al lost an email, and I passed along an email, and like I know it's not true, but in the back of my head, I like to think, yeah, that's all because of me. Yeah.
Yeah, we are all bigger cogs in this machine than the world believes we are. So so there is a song that is exactly 1 minute longer than I Want a New Duck.
Is it exactly 1 more minute longer?
It is exactly 1 more minute longer than I Want a New Duck, and that song is 1 more minute.
I never could have guessed.
I know. It's like it was done on purpose.
You'd think, but who's to say? Honestly,
Not me.
No, we are not any purported experts in this field.
No.
But we can also, of course, make assumptions.
Right.
Because,
It's what we do.
And we'd like to think that, but I'm sure if it were true, someone would confirm it at some point in time. But yes. 1 more minute. The insanely popular single from this album made ever more popular from Al's live performance of it.
Yes. Now I need to say this as a girl who has gone to many Weird Al concerts. I've been very upset every single time I've seen him perform this song live because I have some odd reason always been sitting on the wrong aisle.
Oh yeah.
And made me upset. And here's the thing: for the longest time, this was my favorite Weird Al song.
Oh yeah.
I overdid it on to myself with this song, so I still love it very, very much. But like, you know what I mean? I was like, you need a break from 1 more minute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can relate to that because this song was such a popular and cathartic song for a friend of mine in college after he got dumped.
Oh, no.
That the band that he and I were in together would cover it.
That's precious.
So it was one of the few songs in that band, the band being Insane Ian and Crotch, that I did not do the lead vocals on. Glenn, God of Rock Devage, who was our guitarist, took over the lead vocals on this. And at the end of the song, I would do the noise in the middle of it because he couldn't. But I'm gonna rip my heart right out of my rib cage and then slam it on the floor. Yeah, I did the gasp for that part, and I was doing the backing vocals for him for that. But whenever we would perform that song, then spend 1 more minute with you was changed to then spend 1 more minute with and the name of the girl who dumped him.
Oh, I thought I was here to get a scoop.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to out anybody on here.
I know.
But yeah, so there was, a lot of bitterness that he got to exercise whenever we would perform live in our first band, Insane Ian and Crotch. The band, of course, was called Insane Ian and Crotch because it featured me, Insane Ian, Glenn, God of Rock Devage on guitar, and Pete, no nickname Connor, on drums. And we were called Crotch because we were two nuts and a Peter. So it was really an easy.
That's fabulous.
We actually really got our name from a fellow band that was in college. There's a band called Satellite Feed, and they had a song called Einstein, and the chorus of which goes, kicking Einstein in the crotch, kicking Einstein in the crotch. We've even got some people to watch while we're kicking Einstein in the crotch. And we were singing that during our first rehearsal, and we went, yeah, let's call our band Crotch. So these were the mature thoughts we were having as 20-year-olds in college making a comedy band.
First of all, that's brilliant. And I can speak to this as a grown woman who has a clean, not clean magnet on her dishwasher that is the poop emoji.
Perfect.
So you're in very good company. There's nothing immature, or I'm sorry. If we're being grown-ups here, there's nothing immature about.
Aha. Yes, the correct pronunciation.
About it.
Because you have to put the right emphasis on the right syllable.
On the right syllable. Yeah, no, we're being mature. I love that. That's a great story. But yeah, I mean, this song has I mean, it gets spoken about ad nauseum, but it's, got a very dirty Weird Al joke in it.
Absolutely, yes. I was going to say, speaking of the clean and dirty magnet that you have,
I do.
this has one of Al's most ribald jokes up to this point, not counting anything that had not appeared on an album that he would do in concert.
Right.
This has one of the most well hidden ribald jokes in it. One of the most, it's a dirty joke, but only if you really think about it.
Right.
And it took many an Al fan several years into maturity to realize that joke was not quite face value.
Yes. Yeah, and coming for me, coming from a family who we my mom would only go to a particular gas station because it was one of the few in town that had full service where the other people
Right.
would do the pumping of the gas for her. My mom had not pumped her own gas, and I'm literally talking about cars, until she was in her 30s.
Right.
Okay. So my
No,
first
that's also a thing that, like, not a lot of people, unless you live in certain states, is a joke that people will get.
right.
Because full service stations aren't a thing anymore.
Right.
Most gas stations are self-service unless you live in New Jersey.
Right. No, New
And
Jersey.
one other state still does it. So, even the idea behind the line as a line on face value may not make sense anymore.
Right. So I'm a kid. I'm hearing this and I'm like, self-service pumps. Like, I didn't understand it,
No.
And then by the time my mom learned how to use the self-service pumps, I got the joke and I was like, so
Yes.
that was cute. But like, yeah, it's so covert and
It really is. And that is the brilliance behind good writing, is to, like, it's a layered joke. And to be able to peel back those layers and realize that you got away with a joke that we didn't realize you were getting away with is great.
Yep.
And also, like, you'd think that would have been the line they would have censored on the TV version on American Bandstand.
Right.
And
it wasn't.
no, they like, Al would talk about this during the Vanity tour, and it ended up being the word tongue, I think, in clean all the bathrooms in Grand Central Station with my tongue. So when you bleep that, it actually makes it sound even more illicit than it actually is.
It makes it sound even worse.
It's yeah, well, that's, a couple albums to come, but yeah, it makes it sound filthier than it is.
Because then you start imagining, what is he cleaning it with, and the brain immediately goes to crotch.
Of course, because it's a song about broken hearts that in relationships, and relationships sometimes have to do with crotches.
Oh,
That's a weird segue. That's a sentence that no one said, I'm sure.
What relationships sometimes have to do with crotches?
Yes, that is my Hallmark card to my family this year.
All the best relationships have to do with crotches.
Yeah, I was in a band called Crotch. I may as well.
Some of my favorite relationships have had to do with crotches.
Yes.
Look, we're deep enough into this episode that people have either stopped listening or they're like all in now.
Yeah, well, I mean, after that, how can you not be all in?
Right? I don't know. Speaking of all in, Dagobah.
Oh my God. You are the queen of segues tonight. That is, I don't even know how any of that connects, nor do I think I want to.
It's a swamp.
What are you using as the puppet? No one cares. No, that's not. That is not Jim Henson improved. No.
Oh, I could make a segue somehow with the original song Lola, but I'm
you could. There could be there. You know what? That's You've got me there. You've got me there. That is more clever and more appropriate on making the segue connection. Bravo. I like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yes,
Um,
Yoda, parody of Lola by the Kinks, all about our everybody's favorite little Jedi.
everybody's favorite green little frog like creature.
Yeah.
This song for me, the first time I heard it was a revelation.
Mm.
I had not known the original Kinks song Lola.
Okay.
I just knew Yoda. And growing up in Star Trek fandom and in convention scene fandom and in the filk scene,
Mm-hmm.
where people are writing songs and occasionally comedic songs about their favorite science fiction and fantasy books, novels, TV shows, movies, what have you, making filk songs about them. I was familiar with songs about Star Wars, songs about Star Trek, what have you. This was the first one I'd heard on a major label, on a thing that could be on the radio, and you know, to have it be this big rock song as opposed to a couple of people playing guitars in a drum circle, and to have it be so funny. You know, knowing the movie so well, and you know, I'll be playing this part till I'm old and gray,
Yep.
not realizing how prophetic that line could be. And also, this is the oldest song on this album,
For darn sure. Yep.
because, you know, unbeknownst to me at the time, because I wasn't able to listen to the show, but Al had a bedroom demo of this, of him and just him and the accordion, that he recorded and had been on the Dr. Demento show for years, and he hadn't been able to put it on an album because he hadn't been able to get a hold of the Kinks to get permission.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he finally got a hold of Ray Davies and was able to get this cleared for the album, and have it go on to be, you know, the song that he closes his shows with.
Yeah.
And to have the life of the Yoda chant in the center of the song
Yep.
start and then grow exponentially with every tour, is, you know, this is, for a lot of people, the Weird Al song.
For sure.
For a lot of Weird Al, like diehard fans, this is the Weird Al song. Like, we have the anthem in Dare to Be Stupid, but the song that everybody sings along with is Yoda, because it's the show closer. It's the song he goes out with every night at a performance, and it's that connection between your comedy music nerds and your sci-fi nerds and just your nerds of every color and ilk and creed and just every style of nerd that you can be. It's all coming together in one glorious song that celebrates one of the biggest pop culture franchises of the 20th and 21st centuries.
Yes. I think it's a magical thing, and it's a wonderful song to close side one of Dare to Be Stupid with. I will reserve other comments for the flip side of my little ad break that's about to happen. And I think Yoda is also wonderful, because, you know, I'm sure that you've heard the demo version, the very accordion heavy demo version, right? And you know, my one tiny flex is that we've got the squeeze box set in the house here. I jokingly say that that's why I married my husband, because he had that.
Of course. Yes.
There's actually an episode of this very podcast where he and I are talking about that box set before we were together. He owned it, and it ends with, well, maybe you'll have this box set someday. And lo, I am looking at it right now.
That's incredible. That sounds exactly like how I married my wife, but only instead of the squeeze box set, it was health insurance. So,
oh my God. I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing with it.
No, you can laugh at it. It's funny.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. And obviously love and all that junk, but sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, but like, here's the thing:
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you can have love without marriage, okay? Um, and my husband and I have love, but
Of course.
now that we're married, I
You
have
have
I have
you have
legal
it that much more because you have the squeeze box set.
and I have legal rights to that squeeze box set because he didn't
Of
sign
course.
anything. So
It's the only thing on the prenup.
yeah, this is, could you imagine? Like, no, Lauren, like, I bought the house, but like, the squeeze box. Like, that's amazing. I mean, I don't even know what's worth more anymore.
I don't
mean,
know. The prices I keep seeing for it on eBay, they keep going up.
that's the thing, man. I was like, okay, do I marry this guy or do I save $5,000? You know, I'm kidding. He will never listen this far in this episode.
You know it well. All right.
He knows I love him. But yeah, Yoda is like, I love that demo version and like how it started and the thought process and like the complete like the I'm just gonna say it, like the nuts to put it out after all the original Star Wars had come out, to be like, well, I guess we finally got all the rights to it. This is the album that it's going on. Like,
Yeah.
Star Wars wasn't timely anymore.
But the beautiful thing was that fandom was.
Mm.
And fandom latched onto it. And Weird Al, knowing his audience and knowing that, like him, we're all a little weird. We're all, not for nothing, we're all a little nerdy. And, a song that, yeah, it may be about something that's kind of not really popular, quote unquote, per se, in bigger circles right now. But I know that my fans will probably appreciate this song because it's something that I appreciate. Says a lot, and it definitely made that song go a long way and live a life bigger than maybe even was expected for it.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say kind of a personal story about this song. My very first acting gig, my very first paid acting gig, I was an extra in the Barry Levinson movie Avalon, which filmed in Baltimore, where I'm from. Barry Levinson liked to film a lot of movies in Baltimore. He and John Waters, both from Baltimore, both filmed a lot of movies in Baltimore, both filmed a lot of movies about Baltimore. Avalon is about basically his life growing up in Baltimore. I was an extra in this movie. My first job as an extra, I was 9 years old.
Oh.
And we would take the bus to set. We were filming at the Senator Theater, which is a historic theater in Baltimore. And it was a group of like hundreds of kids to go see like this one big scene that needed a ton of kids in the crowd of a movie theater watching a serial of like Zombies of the Stratosphere or something like that. Which at me being, I was the only 9-year-old in 1990 who had actually already seen Zombies of the Stratosphere outside of any of these other kids, but because that's the upbringing that I had. But it's this black and white superheroes serial, but cereal SERIAL, not breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
But regardless, the point being, whenever they would transport us to set, they'd put us on a bus and carry us through. And like everybody's being rowdy and like bored, and you're sitting on the bus and you're sitting and holding for forever because movie making is a lot of hurry up and wait, even for the kids, which, they want to get the kids in and out of there because the attention to get them to do what they need to do, they're going to lose their attention span.
Mm-hmm.
But me being me, I just started singing Yoda randomly at the back of the bus. And by the time we got left, holding, got to set on that bus ride, I had the entire bus's attention singing along Yo, 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 Yoda with me on this trip through while waiting to film. And it was like I entertained the crowd of kids by just singing a Weird Al song.
I love that. I love. I have nothing further to add to that story because it just speaks so beautifully to what
Yeah, this is why I'm the way I am
This
now.
is this is
because
this is
of
why.
that.
This is why. Like I love that. I love that. I think unless you have anything else to add about Yoda as the side one closer, I'm gonna throw it to ads and then we'll come back in the flip side with any critical critiques that we may have because while we love Weird Al, he is human.
Yes, indeed. The structure of this album, of this side one.
Yeah. I forgot. Like, let's talk about side one as a whole. Yes, you're right. We should do
Yeah,
that
because
first.
we've kind of done the breakdown of the songs, but let's talk about the
You're
structure
right.
of the side as a whole. By this point, album number 3, Al has down the idea of how to lay out an album, and it is parody original, and that's kind of what side one does, and does really strongly.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a side one, there isn't a skippable song on this side.
Hard agree.
Some people might disagree with that, in thinking that I Want a New Duck is not as strong a song as the others on this side.
They are fools.
And I can
Continue.
see that perspective. I don't agree with it, but I can understand where they're coming from.
But
because the idea of that song is initially, at first glance, a little simple, but listening to the song, you realize the scope and the dedication to it and realize how much of a banger it is.
of course. And then if you think about it, if you look at this as a complete side one, opening with Like a Surgeon, ending with Yoda, with Dare to Be Stupid, and one more minute on the either side, being sandwiched in the middle is the perfect place for I Want a New Duck, even if you feel like that's the weakest track. So like there is nothing wrong with the track listing and the flow of side one.
It is definitely a side full of peaks and valleys, but all mostly staying up on many highs.
This is
that particular side.
Great side one. It flows really well.
It absolutely does.
I can't disagree. I love side one of this album very, very much.
It starts out strong with your strong lead single. It sets you up for the like absolute balls out bizarreness of the rest of the album with Dare to Be Stupid, and it just gives you those two songs are your amuse-bouche for the rest of the meal that is presented to you that this album is.
Very, very true. Yeah. I think that's probably why. Thank you for steering me back in the right direction. That's probably why I even forgot to talk about how much I like about side one as a whole, because it's like I've been saying for the past 5 episodes, side one rocks, So thanks for making sure that we put a bow on that.
Of course. I wanted to make sure, because usually I'm the one who's leading us off track, but I thought I'd switch it up for once.
No, yeah, thank you. You put us right back where we belong.
So, but yes, no. Also, it's because I love this album so much, and because it has meant so much to me. I definitely as far as side ones go, it is a real strong side one.
Yep.
For many of his albums, and so yeah, you start out with 2 real bangers of tracks, and then the other tracks on there keep it at a good high.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. I've got nothing further to add to that. I think the only thing I have to add are some ads. So
we'll add the ads then.
We'll add the ads. So we'll see you on the flip side of the ads that we've added.
Addition.
Greetings, fellow nerds. It's Garrett, your host of The Nodak Nerd, part of OddPods Media, the podcast where we explore the vast realms of geekdom. From the latest superhero flicks to retro video games and everything in between, we've got you covered. Join me for insightful reviews, hilarious discussions, and maybe even a few heated debates. Find The Nodak Nerd wherever you listen to podcasts. Let's get nerdy.
Night is over. Masquerade is getting home. The curtains down. And we're back. We're back from those ads were great, weren't they?
I loved them. I appreciate any of those products and or services.
Yeah, exactly. I like see the word appreciate is great. I appreciate that those ads happened.
So that this show could happen.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So speaking of
Because
this,
commerce.
commerce, yeah, capitalism. So side one, dare to be stupid. We talked about so much, and now
We did.
Yeah,
We talked a lot.
we did talk a lot, and we're going to talk a lot less on this side of the ads. But
Probably.
oh, most definitely, because this is the side where we're doing two things over here. We're talking about what, if anything, we feel doesn't work about this side, and two, we're giving this side as a whole experience a rating on a scale of 1 to 27.
Yes.
So, first and foremost, do you have anything really substantive that you are critical about regarding this side of the album?
Possibly.
Go for it then.
So the thing that probably may not be the strongest part of this album is the fact that I Want a New Drug was the second single from Sports.
Yep.
The Heart and Soul was the first one. It was a top 10 hit. This is a love song where drug is used, and wasn't as was it nearly as popular? I don't know. I don't know if I Want a New Drug at the time was more popular than Heart and Soul.
Well, I can find that out
when it was released.
Let me see here. I'm gonna here's the thing. I'm gonna do this thing, and this gives me an opportunity to hit another one of my buttons.
Wait a minute. I'll go check.
And
Perfect.
I don't have too many sound bites, but I have the ones I have. They work well for me.
It did appear to be in the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 6.
Okay. Heart and Soul peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Okay, so it definitely did better. And this is an issue that I had with one of the songs from In 3D and King of Suede. I wasn't as familiar with King of Suede, King of Pain, I should say, as I was the other songs from Synchronicity that were popular. So this was another one of those cases where I wasn't as familiar with I Want a New Drug as I was Heart and Soul the time.
Fun fact, I love this. Heart and Soul, peak position number 8. I Want a New Drug, number 6. Heart of Rock and Roll, number 6. If This Is It, number 6. So
yeah,
those
interesting.
That's really interesting.
The biggest thing that I remember about I Want a New Drug, that kind of made me realize Al's song was a parody of it, was the fact that when Ghostbusters came out, Huey Lewis sued Ray Parker Jr. and Columbia Pictures for copyright infringement, claiming that Parker had stolen the melody from I Want a New Drug for the Ghostbusters theme song. Yeah. Of course, it was settled out of court. It was in the behind the music, etc. But yeah, that. Well, actually, wait, I'm seeing this on Wikipedia. This is interesting. There were 3 parties settled out of court. Yep. Details of the settlement, specifically that Columbia paid Lewis a settlement, were confidential until 2001, when Lewis commented on the payment in an episode of VH1's Behind the Music. Ray Parker Jr. subsequently sued Lewis for breaching confidentiality.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's a whole lot there, and I don't take many stances on this show, and the one small stance that I will have is, like, regardless of this whole Ghostbusters thing, whatever it was, Ray Parker Jr. is so much more talented than he gets credit for. Like,
absolutely. Ray Parker Jr. gets a lot of flack for many things too. There is an amazing Key and Peele sketch about Ray Parker Jr. and the other theme songs for movies that he's written other than Ghostbusters.
oh, jeez. Yeah.
It's a hilarious sketch. But also, because when this album was recorded and when it came out, I Want a New Duck is not the only slight Ghostbusters reference on this album.
Yeah.
On side 2,
We got slime creatures coming up.
we have slime, which you seem to be saying with discuss, which means when we get to talking about that side, I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm.
We'll save it. We'll save it for the discussion.
We will. I've been laying breadcrumbs the entire first side. Side 2 is going to be a completely different discussion than side 1.
I feel as though it may be, especially between the two of us. As I've already prefaced, this is my favorite album.
I love
but
this album.
I love in the end of Slime Creatures from Outer Space, in the fade out, who you gonna call slime creatures? There is that connection between the two on this album. But in bringing up all of that, the point being, I Want a New Duck for me wasn't as prevalent a song to recognize it as being a parody for my young self until much later, when I heard it finally on the radio and then heard the Ghostbusters theme and went, hey, these kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan as well, so of course that was very exciting for me as well. So that is really, to me, the only minor, and it's like it's picking at the nittiest of nits.
Yeah.
It is such a tiny, minuscule, unimportant nitpick, but it is a nit that I'm picking nevertheless. I Want a New Duck not being as familiar to me, although when I was listening to this album, that didn't matter, because they were just songs. I didn't know whether it was a parody or original or not. I didn't know what parody or original meant.
Right.
I was reading the liner notes and going, oh, this says this is a parody, and it's written by a bunch of people in Al, and then this song is just written by Al. Whatever. So that is why it is a gnat's gonad hair of a length of a nitpick.
I love that. Yeah, I am with you on nitpicking on side 1, and so I'm gonna try and do this in the most in the fairest way that I possibly can. The problem that I have with side 1 is I feel like it's too good. So
I think in your diplomacy here, in your trying to be diplomatic, there is an unspoken end of that sentence.
Maybe a little bit. And so here's the thing: I'm trying not to do this because I don't. There's a can of worms that I'm not going to open with myself. But there's not there's not a terrible song on this album. Okay, there are peaks and valleys, as with anything. I just feel like this album is so front heavy that
I will agree with that assessment that it is a little top heavy.
Yeah, I feel like, and I haven't really taken the time, and I could like mentally do this like kind of reorder Dare to Be Stupid in a way that it might be more balanced for a side A and side B, but then that would bust up this perfect side A, right? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd prefer an album where if I'm thinking about listening to it on vinyl, right, like, or cassette or whatever, something where you have to flip it, where I would put side one on and say, all right, it's gonna start and like, okay, that song's happening, like that's fine, but like, oh, this next one's great, right? Or have it the way that it is and be me. I mean, because there's great songs on side two, but there is not a single song on side two that I like more than a song on side one. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and I would agree with that.
So I think it just needs reworking, and we can talk about this more when we talk about side two.
Sure.
When we get to the end of this, because my main beef, which I'll say now and I will bring up again later, I hate is a strong word, but I am very uncomfortable with this album ending with the polka. So I have a lot of things that I feel like need just the track listing is off. This is a great album, and if I put this album on shuffle, I'm fine. I just don't like. But if we're talking about it as a straight side A, side B, it's side A all day. And my only critique then again is that side A is so good that like
it's almost too good.
Yes. Side A would make me want to listen to side B, right? Because of how good it is, but then side B would be a letdown. And so I don't want that to happen, so I need to think of something to do with that. So that's my critique.
I completely agree with that, and we'll get into the reorganization when we get to side B, but I can already see one place where it would diminish side A slightly, but would make the album as a whole more, I don't want to say cohesive, but balanced.
Yeah. We can talk about this later. I like this. Let's leave the people hanging. I think we should do our
Yeah, absolutely. No, but I agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
I will also say, with all of that, I think side A is too short.
Interesting.
It's 5 songs. And Weird Al albums generally aren't long albums. They tend to be 11 or 12 songs.
Sure. And to that point, in my mind, there's 5 songs on each side of this album because George of the Jungle is just kind of there.
Yeah. But George of the Jungle is there because
of side 2 reasons.
It helps to keep with the way albums are usually separated for Al, meaning parody or musical cover and original.
Okay.
So where the music is a cover, but the lyrics are different. This is one where the lyrics are the same as the original. It's just a straight up cover. It's in trying to keep with that, but if you take it as a whole, well, we'll get into that.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, regardless, that is
problem
for me.
Future us.
I think yes, this is just problems for future us. This is. Let's see if I actually remember any of this that I'm babbling about by the time we get to this.
Maybe I'll write it down. I'll reorder.
Yes.
I'm just gonna write down
pomegranate LaCroix or pamplemousse LaCroix, whatever you call it.
It's grapefruit. But
fuel your memory to write things down.
Yeah. So all we have to do now is rate it on a scale of 1 to 27. When I say rate it, I mean side A, just as side A for what it is.
Just as side A for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
I mean, I'll go first because I think, if this existed as an EP, okay?
Yeah.
This is perfect. So I'm going 27.
You know what? I think that is an accurate assessment. I think despite my misgivings about I Want a New Duck, I would still agree with that. And I would also say if this just side A by itself is a 27, because I've listened to this side so many times, and it is my favorite album.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, unexpectedly, I'm giving it a 27.
Boom. I love it. So,
And also, on January 27th of 1986, a little less than a year after its release, the album was certified gold. So there's your another 27
woo!
for this episode.
That's beautiful. I love it. Oh, we've got a trifecta of 27s. I think that there's never been a better way to end an episode of the Beard Owl podcast where there has been no beer.
But there has been plenty of Al.
And there's been plenty of Al. And you know what? I would say the beer to Al ratio is pretty much like 9-1 most of the time anyway. Other way around.
That is true. Well, I mean, I have a beard, so that's close.
Oh, you do. Okay. Very good. Very good. I forgot to grow mine for this.
That's okay. It's an audio format. No one will know.
Whew, thank goodness. Okay.
Unless we tell them in an audio format.
Oh, no.
Ah, crap.
Curses. Foiled again.
Me and my internal external monologue.
No, I've done it to myself. So insane, Ian. Thank you for being here and for being insane.
Looney Lauren, thank you for having me and being alliterative.
Thank you. You're just for those who don't know, I have named myself on our chat software here as Looney Lauren for this, just to feel like I'm part of the group.
just to make me feel welcome with other alliterative names.
alliterative names about my questionable mental state.
Well, I mean, like the name Insane Ian, of course, comes from the hero worship of Weird Al, but it also comes from the name of the cast members of the Dr. Demento show. You had Whimsical Will, you had Beefalo Bill, you had Jungle Judy, you had Good Time Gil. A lot of them ended in ill, I noticed, but there were some that didn't too. And there's a lot of Mysterious Moe's. There's a lot of cast members and people who work on the Dr. Demento show who have had alliterative names. So this is just a tradition I'm carrying on from that as well.
I love that. You're alliteratively insane, Ian. And
yes.
Yeah, I'm
only professionally insane.
Yeah, I'm Looney Lauren and I'm lovely. So I think we will leave you now. I think I'm done with my alliteration. So, Ian, thank you for being here. I will put links to your stuff in the show notes for people to click on.
Of course, thank you, and thank you for having me on Beyond This. I love doing these recaps with you. These fun. Are always a load of fun for us to record. I hope it's a load of fun for people to listen to.
It is, and I can say that because people let me know. People let me know when they have a good time, and people let me know when they have a bad time.
Whether you want them to let you know about that one or not.
Hey, I'm all for constructive criticism and making things better. So, hit me with it. It's fine. Anyhow, thank you for being here, and everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. We will get to side 2 of Dare to Be Stupid in a little bit. I have a slightly less insane, Ian, to doing a guest spot. I think as our next episode. I hope. I don't have that quite lined up as of the recording of this, but that is my plan and my hope. If not, then I'll just make Russ roll in from the living room and do something so that you have something to hear. He's good for that.
Someone for you to banter with.
Yeah, he's someone to banter with, and he's good for that. And he loves Weird Al just as much, if not more, than I do. He's loved him longer than I have, so that's something. And
excellent.
Anyway, all right, everybody, have a great day, great weekend, great week, and great life, and stay weird. Bye.
I'll see ya. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.